Hi, my name is Marina Gaidar. I'm a novelist and a self published author. I write under the name M.M. Gaidar. You can check out the series of my gothic mystery novels if you follow the link down below in the description to this video. I am also a screenplay writer and story consultant. I work as a development assistant for a Toronto based production company, but I will probably need a different video to tell you about that. So, what I'm doing today is shooting the first episode of a self published author's diary because a few people asked me to share my experience with them, and who am I to deny them this pleasure? I am by no means a well known writer yet. If we look at how big my audience is and how much money I make from selling my books, but I have just recently started as a self-published writer, and I am a delusional optimist, I guess. So for the sake of this video being on a cheerful note, I'll say I have high hopes. So if you're looking into this career, some of my experiences and opinions may turn out useful for you. A little disclaimer though, this is not an educational tutorial. I may be doing things completely wrong from the standpoint of a more experienced self-published writer, and I am still learning. It's a very steep learning curve. So you have a privilege of watching me try and either fail or succeed. As a way of introducing myself, I'm going to share my daily routine related to self-publishing. My morning usually starts with checking out all the platforms where my books are published, and one of them is Amazon. So I go to KDP reports. Here I can follow the success of my books, how many copies have been sold, my royalties, things like that. KENP read is where I see how many pages of my book have been read through Kindle Unlimited program. You can see that some days suck, so there is probably some issue with my ads because they are not delivering the result I need on these days. Or maybe on these days people just tend to read less. As a self-published writer on Amazon, you can enroll your book into the Kindle Unlimited program. It means that people who use Kindle and pay a monthly or annual fee can read your book for free. But it doesn't mean that you as a writer do not get any royalties from that. You get 0.0004 cents per every page read. So if your book is 200 pages long and someone reads 200 pages, you will get something like 80 cents. It doesn't seem much, but believe me, there are people who get six-figure checks from Amazon, so it's worth it. The more people read your book, the better, obviously. Actually, there are pretty nice bonuses for authors as well. So if we look here, you will see it says author with a 100 page Kindle ebook that was borrowed and read completely 100 times per month, I should add, would earn $1,000. In my case, I have 2,809 pages read this month in 2 books enrolled into KiU, which is not nearly enough to get my first $1,000 bonus. After this, I go to the orders section to see how many copies of my books I've sold this month. It's 20 copies so far. It seems not bad, but for you to understand how insignificant this number really is, I want to show you a website I came across recently. Here, You can see how many copies of your book you must sell to promote your book to the best-selling list on Amazon. As you can see from my genre, which is mystery, thriller, and suspense, the number is 1,937 copies, and it is per day. Like, I feel I don't stress this enough. Per day. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, I've sold 20 copies this month, while I need 1,937 to be sold per day. Well, maybe around Christmas. Who knows? After I've checked orders, I go to my royalties and weep just a little. My royalties this month are $52.09, and this barely covers the expenses for the ads. I don't even count in what I've spent on the covers and editor. There is one more platform where I sell my books in Ukrainian. I write in two languages, since a lot of people in Ukraine use Android, maybe even more than Apple. It is a nice platform for selling my books in Ukrainian. As you can see, I have two books published here, the same books that are published in English on Amazon. For some reason, you can't publish anything on Amazon in Ukrainian. I tried and I got my book blocked. So here I can see how many copies of the first book get downloaded. And it is a big number of copies, but the first book is actually free, so I don't get anything from that except for promotion. The second book was downloaded many times in the periods when it was free. That was around winter holidays. But since I put a price on it, I have only sold a few copies, but maybe 15 or so. And I've earned $14 over 3 months. This is nothing, of course, but I'm actually not planning to earn a lot from selling my Ukrainian books because of, because of the war, because of everything that is happening in Ukraine right now. I don't even run any ads for these books. So these sales I have here are happening on their own. So for me, writing in Ukrainian is basically more for pleasure than for any profit. But of course, I love having Ukrainian audience as well. I am also selling my Ukrainian books through Smashwords, which in its turn distributes my books to Kobo, Apple Books, Barnes & Noble, and a couple other websites. But the thing is with this is that it is literally dead. My books are hardly ever bought through these platforms, so for now I am simply present there, and I think it will take a lot of effort to take off on those platforms altogether. I think I might need an aggressive advertising campaign for that purpose. You might ask me why I don't sell my English books on other platforms like Kobo, Barnes and Noble. Why do I only sell on Amazon? And the answer is because my books are enrolled in Kindle Unlimited program, and it means I signed an exclusive agreement with Amazon that doesn't allow me to sell the same electronic books through other platforms. And if you do and they catch you, you can be banned from Amazon. I also check my Goodreads for any new reviews on my books or new ratings. It is not a must to have your author's page on Goodreads, but any book self-published through Amazon appears on Goodreads anyway, so even if you don't have your page there, your readers will still be able to go on Goodreads and leave their reviews and comments and ratings. But if you want to communicate with your readers, it is actually a nice idea to register and have your page there. Besides, Goodreads have some really nice offers and perks for authors, like giveaways, for example. You might consider that as an opportunity to promote your books. What I also check is my Linktree stats. It is a website where you can create your page and make a list of your links that you want to make available for your customers. It is neat and efficient, very useful, especially if you don't have your author's website yet or you can't simply afford it. A basic subscription for Linktree is absolutely free. Only if you want to upgrade your subscription, you will need to pay something like $10 per month. I'm using my basic subscription right now because I'm spending money on ads and the sales are minimal, so every $10 count. Linktree or your author's website is an absolute must. If you have a profile on Instagram especially, you can just attach your Linktree in your bio on Instagram, and whenever you advertise anything through Instagram, you will be able to just tell people, check out the link in my bio, instead of attaching inactive links. Instagram is another place I go to in the morning. I check the stats on my ads, which I can do right here in View Insights section. I check how many people shared my post, how many saved it, how many tapped my ad and visited my website, which is Linktree. If you want to know more about the geography of your ad and its audience, you can find it here too. It is all valuable information, especially if you are trying to analyze your market and what works and doesn't work in terms of advertising your books. After all of this is checked, I get down to compiling my list of to-do things for today related to self-publishing. For today, my plan is to start working on the translation of my novel, The Voices Behind the Walls, into Ukrainian, to change the covers of the Ukrainian books for new experimental ones. I just want to check how it will reflect on the sales in February. And I'm also going to study this guy's website where he compiled a list of promotional websites for the authors. You might find them extremely useful. As you have probably noticed, I'm currently using quite budget-friendly ways to advertise my books. I can spend a few bucks on Instagram and Facebook, but there are real advertisement giants out there that can change the game for you. One of the websites this guy mentions is BookBub. It is a massive platform that you can hire to advertise your books through, including your books in their newsletter. They send out this newsletter to people who are subscribed to particular genres. As you can see, it is pretty expensive. Depending on your genre, you can pay anything between $150 to $800 if you want to advertise a free book. But the price goes higher if your book is 99 cents or $3.99. You will pay a much higher price in that case. You can say, wait, why do I need to advertise for $800 my book that is free? Does it mean I will not even get my money back? Well, yes and no. First, you need to consider this if you're publishing a series of books, and advertising the first book in the series, even if it is free, will lead to more people buying other books in the series as well. Also, which is pretty important, if your book, whether it is free or not, in a series or just a standalone starts getting more traction, Amazon will see this as a signal to promote your books too. I might actually use BookBub service sometime in February because I want to advertise the pre-order for my third book in the series. I believe that will make more sense for me. By that time I will have book number 1, book number 2, and pre-order for book number 3. According to the stats on the BookBub website, if I advertise my supernatural suspense, that's the closest category to gothic mystery, through their platform, I might get 20,000 downloads in average. This is not bad, especially if every person who downloads the first book decides to continue reading the whole series. I know that for someone who is only considering self-publishing, all of this might sound overwhelming and not at all like something you would like to do and spend your time on as a writer. Because let's be honest, we all as writers just want to churn out our books and put them out and bask in the glory of a best-selling author. But it rarely happens like this, definitely not in my case. So marketing is a must, and you know, no one knows a secret recipe for an overnight success. So the only way to succeed, it seems, is actually try and try and try and fail and succeed in the end. I hope you've enjoyed this video. If you did, please don't forget to give a thumbs up to this video and subscribe and punch that bell button to not miss the next releases. In the next videos, I'm going to talk about creating covers, editing, advertising, useful resources, and I am also leaving some useful links for you down below in the description to this video. This is all for today. Thank you for watching. Bye bye.